Hello, and welcome back to Cozy with Chelsea. I am Chelsea, your host, and for today's podcast, I am doing a solo episode. It's been a minute now since I've done a solo episode. I've had so many wonderful guests on the podcast recently, but today I don't. So I want to kind of hone in and focus on my topic, which is self-care as we transition into the fall or autumn season. And the reason I want to focus on this today is because on my socials, on TikTok and Instagram, I am doing a September series. It's called Falling into Self-Care. And I'm doing that almost every day. Not quite, but I am attempting to do many days of September where I share a self-care tip that you can incorporate into your regular daily life. And it's fall themed, of course, because it's September. Fall is coming. It is shortly upon us. And it's obviously the best season, in my opinion. But I'm cozy with Chelsea. So winter is cozy too. Don't get me wrong. But fall is just where it's at. It's just where it's at. So I wanted to talk about fall. I had a summer equinox episode, my midsummer episode, and we're getting into fall now. So that's exciting. And the fall equinox is on September 22nd. So I am recording this before that, of course, but I'm just excited for that day to come. And I wanted to talk about what it is. The fall equinox. So basically on that day, on September 22nd, it is a balance of day and night. So there are equal amounts of both. I just thought that was interesting. Where summer, it's when the days are the longest. Winter is when the days are the shortest. In fall, we have a nice balance. And doesn't that tie so well into self-care? Balance. Because you need to do and go and be productive, and you need to rest. And all of that is self-care. All of that is taking care of yourself. So, how can we make self-care fall themed? Now, what does fall feel like to you? What does fall feel? How do you feel in the fall? How does fall feel? Sorry. I'm a little delirious today, so apologies to the listeners. But when I think of fall, I think of letting go, right? And you can actually, literally, see that in fall. The leaves are falling from the trees. We are moving into, fall is a transitional season. We're going from summer to fall to winter. We are shedding our layers. We are getting ready for the deep hibernation. So letting go. Trees are literally letting go of their leaves, but also what does that mean for us? What can we release? What are we ready to release as we move into this season of fall, as we shift into autumn? So one of the themes is letting go. Another theme of fall is harvest and gratitude, because historically, fall is harvest season. Now we all get our apples from the grocery store. So maybe not all of us are totally checked into that feeling of harvest. However, that is what the season represents historically throughout the ages. So I want you to also focus on, okay, if it's a season of harvest, how can we recognize what we've already harvested this year? Meaning, what have you created? How have you grown? What have you accomplished that you are now ready to harvest? What have you planted and sown that is now blossoming and the fruit is ready to pick? Okay. So it's both, and it's kind of a balance, right? So what are we letting go of? And at the same time, what are we recognizing and appreciating in our lives? And self-care is important when we're thinking about fall. Now, one of the reasons self-care is so important is because of seasonal affective disorder, just to be so blunt with it. Which, by the way, the acronym for that is SAD, which is perfect. It's perfectly fitting because that's what you are. You're sad when you have seasonal affective disorder. And for anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's just when there is less sunlight. So you are not outside. You're literally not in the sun as much as usual. So you're not getting that vitamin D and all the other lovely things that we get from being outside. But you're also just not outside. Like, you're not moving your body outside. You're not going outside. It's getting colder. I mean, again, this depends where you are, but for me, I don't have sad. I have happy. I have joy. I have jumping outside. Yay. Joy. Because I live in the desert and we do have a fall and a winter. Don't get me wrong. It's colder in the winter, but it's like 50. Maybe. That's like the coldest it'll be. So for me, that is prime time, baby. In fact, it's the opposite for me. Summer, when it's 110 degrees here, is when I'm sad. That's my seasonal affective disorder. But it kind of makes sense. Even though it's very sunny, it's hard for me to get outside. The only thing I want to do if I go outside is get into colder water. I don't want to just be outside. I want to be in a pool or a lake or something like that. So that's my sad. But for many, many other people, they have seasonal affective disorder in the colder and darker months. We have the autumn blues, unfortunately, for some people, seasonal affective disorder. That is one reason why self-care is so important. Another is immune system care, because unfortunately we're heading, I don't even like saying this out loud because I just don't want to, but I'm going to anyways. But in fall and winter, it's cold and flu season. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows it. That's why you're getting 1,000 texts from CVS and Walgreens telling you to get your flu shot. When I'm like, hey, can you leave me alone? Can you get rid of my phone number? Because I don't want to see the word flu ever in my phone. Okay? It's bad vibes. Low vibes. Send me a text that says, hey, hope you're feeling healthy. That'd be nice. Instead, it's like, prepare for the worst illness this year. But anyways, you're getting those texts because we're entering cold and flu season. So immune system support is important. And a way to support your immune system is via self-care. Because the more you take care of yourself, the better your immune system is. The more that you're outside, the more that you're moving your body, the more that you're resting when you need to, all of those things are going to up the immune system. I'm also going to just throw this caveat in because I'm a sober person, but alcohol lowers the immune system. I'm just saying that sentence, and now we can move on. Then there is just the need to kind of ground yourself amongst change. As we get into fall, things are changing. First of all, there's just the season change, so you have to adjust to that, even though for me, it's like the most exciting thing ever. I see a pumpkin at Trader Joe's, and I'm like, yeah! Or, a Starbucks drink drops or whatever that is, even though Starbucks doesn't have that apple crisp drink this year, and that is unacceptable. Honestly, I actually was thinking of starting like a protest, like just holding a sign that says, bring back the apples or something. Or, like, remember, when you go to the grocery store and there's like the Greenpeace people and you have to sign it? Like, we need that, but we need it for the Starbucks apple drink. Bring it back. Give the people what they want. But yes, grounding yourself amidst change. Because you have, in fall, we're entering holiday season. Now we have a good month and a half, but once, it's Halloween and then it's Thanksgiving and then it's Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever it is. And then it's New Year's and then it's just like bam, 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 bam. And then there's travel. It's change. It's busy times. It's often busy times for work too. Fourth quarter is a thing. We need to remember to ground ourselves and take care of ourselves amongst the chaos. So for all of those reasons, sad disorder, the autumn blues, taking care of your immune system, and just grounding yourself during the busy times and change are all reasons why we need self-care. Now, how do you do that, Chelsea? Well, I'm going to tell you. Now, self-care, it can look like a lot of different things. For me, it always makes sense to just say self-care is taking care of yourself. Because for some reason, the words self-care kind of disconnect me from what it is, which is it's just simply taking care of yourself. Imagine you are a child and you're your own parent. What does that child need? Because it could be all different things. Like, yes, self-care is a bubble bath. Because I love a bubble bath. But it's also saying something that you need to say to someone. It's also going for a run because you have rage. Whatever that is, whatever that looks like, that you need to move through and process and get out. Self-care doesn't have to be you in a darkness retreat where you're blindfolded with earplugs in a room with blackout curtains for 4 days until you reach a spiritual awakening. Sorry, that was extreme. But my point is that you don't have to be Buddha meditating to achieve self-care. It's just a reminder to check in with yourself. And if it helps to visualize yourself as that little child, inner child work, what do I need right now? Because maybe it's play and maybe it's fun. And other times, maybe it's like, I need to go lay down in my bed for 5 hours and have nobody talk to me. Nobody even look at me. So figure out what it is that you need. But here's some practical tips. Nourish your body. How about we start there? Nourish your body with food, for example. And when I say nourish your body with food, again, it's like, okay, just eat something that makes you feel good. And that's going to continue to make you feel good. I'm really not into, like, you have to eat this 100% organic, healthy food 100% of the time. And that is great. And that is great if you do that. And I do try to eat mostly organic, healthy food. And sometimes I need ice cream. It's fine. So nourish your body. Like I said, that looks different for me all the time. I will say it is fall and we're sticking with the fall theme. Then why don't we talk about soup? Why don't we talk about stews? I mean, on this podcast, I've said 4,500 times how much I love pho. And for anyone who doesn't know what pho is, it's spelled P-H-O. It's a Vietnamese soup. I feel like it's almost maybe insulting to refer to it as chicken noodle soup, but kind of gives me that vibe. It's broth, it's rice noodles, and then you could do chicken, you could do beef, you could do vegetable, you could do tofu, you could do, whatever. But it's just really, really good. So that would be how you could nourish yourself with food, is giving yourself some pho or some really yummy soups and stews. Maybe it looks like ice cream. I don't know. What's going to make you feel good? And the key is feel good. Not something you're doing to punish yourself or to overcome a feeling or fill the void, but what's actually going to make you feel good. So nourish your body. You could do that with food. You could also do that with movement. That could be gentle movement. That could be yoga. It could be stretching, which I really need to do. If you're watching this on video, I've tried to fix my neck like 4 times because I really messed it up the other night sleeping. And this is 33. But maybe some movement. Go for a walk. Go for a run if that's what you need. Ride a bike. When's the last time you rode a bike? When's the last time I rode a bike? Like a year ago. I love riding a bike. Yeah, what movement and food can you incorporate to make yourself feel good? What are you going to do to take care of yourself? Now, there's also supporting your mind and spirit. I think journaling, if you've been listening to this, you should know that I like journaling. I want to incorporate maybe a prompt for fall. And so since we talked about fall being a season of letting go, You could journal about, what am I ready to release? What is no longer serving me? If I'm a tree, what leaves am I ready to have fall to the ground? What are those leaves? For me, it's uncomfortable pants and self-doubt. So yeah, maybe journal about that. Meditation is a great form of self-care. You could do a visualization meditation that's fall themed. I'm just thinking of this now, but I already have a meditation where I imagine roots going into the earth, and that's where I release through. So you could do that, but now I'm imagining myself as like I am a tree and I'm rooting down, connecting into the earth, Mother Earth, and I have branches and the leaves are everything I'm ready to let go of, and they're just falling to the ground and becoming beautiful fall foliage, and I am not responsible for them anymore. Wow, that felt good to do. So maybe something like that. And then maybe you can have some cozy rituals. What could you do? There is always the bubble bath, right? But maybe we can make it fall. Maybe we can have a fall bath. Maybe we can have like a pumpkin spice bath bomb. I don't know. Maybe some fall scents, maybe a fall candle or a clove essential oil, something like that we can incorporate into the bath. I don't know if you can put clove in water, so don't quote me on that, but you could diffuse it while you're taking a bath. That's a cozy ritual. And then something for me is always nature, getting into nature. And fall, this is the time to do it, especially if you live somewhere where it's going to be blizzard town, blizzard central. Get out now while the weather is beautiful and gorgeous. Go for a walk, go for a meditation walk outside, go collect some leaves. Just make sure you get outside. That sunlight is so good for you. We want to not be sad. So go get some sunlight. So those are just some practical self-care tips. But my advice to you would be to really hone in on what you as an individual need, because we are all so different and we all have different things going on. And this is something that I do all the time is I will go into a quiet room and I will connect with my higher self and I will just ask, what do I need? What do I need right now? You'll tell yourself what you need. And that's going to look different every single day. So if anything, it's kind of building that skill of tapping into your inner knowing and what you really actually need that day. It's going to look different every day. Yesterday, I was so exhausted, and I had been going for a while. I had some stressors going on, and that's why my neck hurts. And I actually, while I was like stressed, I went to the gym and I put on this like motivation. I put on a motivation playlist and it was like, all these like basically men motivational speakers, like David Goggins vibes. Yeah, which is not something I would It's not something I would normally listen to, but there's a time and a place, right? I was like, maybe this will get me going. And it did. It did get me going. And then I did the Stairmaster for a long time. And then I proceeded to do weights on specifically my arms, my biceps, my triceps, my lats. I think they're called lats. I don't know. And I was lifting like heavy and lifting a lot. And I think that did a little damage. A little bit too much too soon, Chelsea. I'm kind of an all or nothing person. Not kind of, I absolutely am an all or nothing person. So maybe I can incorporate some balance into fall. But honestly, being an all or nothing person for me is balance. It's either all or nothing. I'm either going, or I'm like, I need rest now. Seriously. My point is I worked out very hard and I think I had DOMS or whatever that is, delayed onset muscle soreness. I think that's what it is. And literally it felt like I was ill. It felt like my muscles were deteriorating. It did not feel good. And so that's why this podcast is coming out a little bit late. And I didn't do a few things that I needed to do, but I was like, you know what? I need to fully, seriously rest. I took a bath. I had pho. I laid down and I was in bed by 9 o'clock. And sometimes that's what self-care is. Sometimes self-care is working out really hard at the gym. Just check in with yourself and you will know what you need that day. So those are my fall self-care tips. Just really remember to take care of yourself as we transition into this new season. I would love to know what you guys are doing to take care of yourself in the fall. If you want to leave me a comment wherever you are consuming this media. And like I said on my socials, on TikTok and Instagram, I am posting different self-care tips often. That's it for today. Just wanted to send out a little fall self-care episode. And I will link my website if you'd like to book a consult with me for life coaching. And I will also link all of my socials. That's all I have. I hope you guys have a wonderful transition into fall and take care of yourself in whatever way you need. All right, stay cozy. Bye.